Okay, I want to do a quick debriefing of the Major Taylor International Writing Challenge in 2024. This happened in February of this year, and I was part of it. I really enjoyed this event. It was an online challenge. Actually, the team that I rode with, I've only corresponded with them via Strava and Line Messenger, Line and Facebook. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the how it all went down, how I got involved, and a little bit about this event. Now it says it's powered by Strava. However, this one was not pushed. Sometimes Strava offers these challenges, and I think they release the information to the entire group, everybody on Strava, and you get tons of people who do these things. This one did not have a major push by Strava. So in January, I got a message from, let me see if I can find my team here. So, team totals, and I was on the Taiwan team, which is quite interesting because it's pretty much a U.S. Everything, all the teams are from the U.S. here. So, what happened was, where is Taiwan? Um, the person who organized this, she had lived in the U.S. for many years, and she had gotten into cycling. Here we go, just straight up Taiwan. Um, she had gotten into cycling when I think she lived in New York, and I had followed her via a link that I had saw, and she was posting some really neat um, English written, well done, articulate articles, and I kind of saw those and I was like, I'd comment every now and then. And here we go. Here's the Taiwan team right here, Major Taylor, Taiwan. I I was like, wow, this is pretty good. So recent activity members. Let's see, post. Let's see if I can. Yeah, she does. It's this one right here. Lin Yu. She is the one who takes care of like the organization of everything, and she did a wonderful job. And I came across this like about 6 months, about a year ago, I guess. And I would comment in and I'd say, "Wow, this is a great write up. This is really nice. Thank you for doing this." And in January, she asked me if I wanted to join their team there for this online event, and I said, "Why not? What do I have to do?" And she said, "It's pretty easy. We're gonna ask you to try to ride 1,000 miles, or you can do the elevation challenge." But I thought, wow, 1,000 miles, 1,600 kilometers. It's not a huge deal for me. I can knock that out in 29 days. It's not a big deal. I usually ride around 1,200 to 1,500 with just my normal protocol. I guess that's about what I cover. So 1,600, and especially in February, we didn't have. I didn't have class. We were on winter break, so I was like, "Yeah, so no big deal. I'll do that, no problem." So here's our team. We had tons of people. Like there was a lot of people. 73 people, and we had to put MTTW on our Strava name so that they could follow us, and we had to register for a few things. It was all very easy. So anyhow, let's just cut to the chase here. I finished. I did not do any virtual riding or indoor riding. I don't own a trainer. I have owned one. I've owned rollers, but I no longer do that. I don't like to ride my bike in the living room. So I'm outdoor, and total team. Let's go to individual leaders. And I did pretty good. I didn't take an axe to this thing. I didn't say I'm going to ride 100 kilometers every day, or I'm going to do this epic every day kind of thing. I just thought I'm going to ride and just see what happens. And for the entire 800 people who joined the thing, I ended up with was it 15th place, and I got in 1,138 miles and 59,000 feet of elevation gain. Now this is miles and feet. So if you look at the total for the putting the trainer in there, I didn't do so well, but I still did okay. I'm down here at 67th place, where the same numbers are there. Now, Yeah, we did good. Taiwan basically won the thing for sure. Let's see if we can. If there's a, yeah. Here's some of the intro. We're way up here with the average miles for each person was 1,041, and we did pretty good. So they they it's interesting how they've got it going here, but I believe our numbers are probably up there. Wow. Yeah, total elevation 3 million. That's tons. Average miles, but our total miles, whoa, that's a lot. So I believe we were definitely in first place. But to be fair, the weather in most of these U.S. places in February is not very good. Granted, Florida probably was great, but some of these places in now they could ride on the train or they could ride indoors, but February, okay, it's not a huge, to be honest, a huge cycling month like Chicago. How many people are out riding a bike in February in Chicago? Not that many. And some of these other places, let's see here. Phoenix, maybe you can get out and ride a bit. I'm not exactly sure how the weather is there, but there was this group here in Nairobi. So Major Taylor, if you're not aware of who this person is, you can Google him and check him out. But growing up in North Carolina, I knew who he was thanks to February's Black History Month. So he's a black cyclist, and he was alive back in like the 1930s, and that's when he was active, and he was fast. He was pretty fast. So it all happened in the background for me. I remember seeing this picture growing up and going through the school system in North Carolina, but I didn't pay a ton of attention to him, and because he was kind of a minor character in the whole story, and his picture may have showed up in some of the textbooks or some of the things that we were taught, but I didn't realize who he was until later on when I got into cycling in my late 20s and research and see who's who in the world of cycling. So when I heard about this, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to do that. I'm in 100%. So February, here's what my February looked like. Numbers not so exciting. People showing their Strava thing. It's real kind of a personal thing. Let's see here. Let's go to training calendar and 90 hours for February. And granted, I take a lot of photos. Sometimes I walk through the grocery store after my ride, so numbers might be a little funny. But I ended up with 1,832 kilometers, which is not my best, but it's okay. It's definitely satisfactory. And I had one day I did not ride on. It was raining. So I was everywhere. I was up in Taipei. I was in northern Taiwan. I was in Taidong and Hualien County for a week and a half. And then I was back in Nantou, so I had a really big month going here and there on the island in Taiwan. It was quite nice. Take a look at some photos, some Chambing photos. Let's see here. This is out on 11. This is a wonderful area to ride. Yeah, it's a nice hill. It's like a couple 7 kilometers. It's a good one. And Chambing is a magical place, really nice. I've shared a lot of videos and pictures from this area. That fella had a really interesting bike. I was a foreigner. I think he was from England, and he was on a tour around or most of the island. Kind of neat. So Beetle Nut Girls, and so I'm not going to share a ton of photos in this debriefing here. So overall, it was a really great experience. I'm glad I did it, and I totally will do it again. I got some goods, some stuff, which is really cool. I got this guy. I don't actually have a trainer, but I'm sure I can put it to use somehow. Or if a friend comes around and they need one, I'll totally hand it to them. This is a sweat blocker. This little thing is a kind of an interesting little plastic rubber, and it really works. It really makes the sound come out of your phone quite. It amplifies it by like a good percent. And then a DT Swiss cycling cap, which I don't wear these things, but I'm. It's great that they sent one because it fits me and it's okay. So that was really nice of Linyu to organize all this and get this all set up. I won this in the kind of a raffle or a drawing at the end of they did an online kind of thing, and that was kind of cool. I was at work. I had a meeting. I couldn't watch it. And the last point I want to say is I don't want to put it all public. Let's see if I can turn it on here. So I am really terrible with Line. I don't keep it going all the time, and I like to use it from my computer. It's on my phone, but I'm not. Yeah, look at that. There's 107 messages I need to go through and read. So with this, we had Line. That was the main artery of communication, and the way that she and everybody in the team kind of chatted, and it was all in Chinese, which that's cool because when you study a second language, one of the kind of the thrills or one of the things about it is you should experience it and be part of it, even if you don't understand everything. These days with technology, it's easy to translate things, but to see that world and to be part of a group where all the speakers are kind of communicating, and it's really neat because if it's online in a group setting like this with the tech, you can make sure you catch almost everything if you give it a try, and you can really see that side of the world in that language, which is great. And I totally got that when I lived in Japan. I busted my butt with Japanese for almost over 10 years, and was my Japanese skills are pretty good. They're not amazing, but I do pretty well. But then with the Chinese, I'll be honest, I don't study that much, and I'm gonna say this: Japanese does not equal Chinese. They're totally different. But you can render some. I can render a lot of it into English if I see the written Chinese, and I do pretty well with that. So being part of that chat was great. I used whenever I wanted to say something, sometimes maybe out of the blue, I might have interrupted a conversation, and I would just drop pictures or show where I was writing, or maybe ask a question here and there, and that was kind of neat. So I enjoyed being part of this group. All really nice people, and I unfortunately didn't get to meet anybody in person, but I'm sure I will sooner or later. And I had followed some of the people on Strava way before this, and so it was nice to see them in the group as well. Overall, a really good experience, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. All right, there we go. And there's pictures of my guinea pigs. There's my wife and my daughter down here. And I don't know, 6 years, something other. All right, and we're going to cut this off. Done deal. Okay. Save recording.